Zendaya, a blank check, a legendary director, a role to destroy her Disney girl image. The world waited, and she walked out. No excuses, no regrets. Most stars would have sold everything. She didn't, she said. No, Zendaya, young, ambitious, a star in the making. But the path, far from easy. Before the glitz, before the fame, before the world noticed, there were small roles, tiny stages, Disney shows, guest spots that barely made a ripple. Most would have quit. Most would have taken the easy route. Not Zendaya. At 13, she auditioned relentlessly. Hundreds of scripts, countless callbacks, rejection after rejection, doors slammed in her face. Agents said, await your turn. Directors shrugged. I'm not ready. The word haunted her, but she didn't stop. Every no became fuel. Every setback, a lesson. She started on Shake It Up, a Disney series. The part, modest, not glamorous, not glamorous. Not a career-defining role, but she poured herself into it. Every smile, every line, every dance move. She wasn't acting. She was building a foundation, a reputation. People noticed. Producers whispered her name. Slowly, the tiny roles stacked into something bigger. Auditions weren't easy. Competition fierce. Girls her age, trained for years, dreamt of the same stage. Each rejection stung. Each almost got it, tested her patience. But Zendaya understood a truth most forget. Your career isn't a sprint, it's a story. Every small role, every background cameo was a chapter, a puzzle piece. And yet there was pressure. The Disney mold is tight, cute, cheerful, marketable. But Zendaya felt bigger. She wanted depth. She wanted to challenge herself. She wanted the audience to see more than just a smile on a TV screen. But the industry, it hesitated. Casting directors didn't always see the spark, only glimpses, the subtle fire behind her eyes. She took classes, voice, dance, acting. She pushed harder than anyone else on set. Notes, corrections, mistakes, learning, growth. Every small role became a rehearsal for the bigger stage. Every setback, a quiet victory in disguise. And she kept moving, even when doors closed. Even when roles went to others. By 15, whispers became attention. Producers began to notice someone who wasn't just talented, but persistent. Someone who wouldn't compromise. Someone who could carry the weight of a series or a film and still remain herself. Early struggles, they weren't setbacks. They were her armor, her training ground. Every Disney gig, every small cameo, every moment she was overlooked, it shaped her core. Prepared her for the role that would finally make Hollywood stop and stare. Because before the legend, before the fame, before the blank check, there was Zendaya. And she fought for every inch. Zendaya, nerves tight, heart racing. She walked into the room. The stakes, massive. A Hollywood audition that could change everything. Not just a role, not just a paycheck. A statement, a declaration. She was ready to step out of Disney. Forever. The director, legendary. Fool. Known for spotting raw talent, a single misstep could ruin the chance of a lifetime. The casting assistants, watching, noting, judging, every smile, every word, every movement. Zendaya took a breath. She remembered the small roles, the Disney shows, the endless auditions where she didn't get the call back, the rejection letters, the almosts that never became yeses. All of it led here. She read the script, lines memorized. But she didn't just recite, she felt, she embodied. Every word carried weight, every glance told a story. The room was silent. You could hear a pin drop. Her energy was magnetic, commanding, real. And then, something unexpected. A note from the director, a suggestion, change a line, alter a movement. Most actors would comply immediately. Zendaya paused, thought, and made a choice. Her instinct said no, her integrity said no. She delivered the line her way. Bold, unflinching. True, it was risky, career-defining risky. Most would have folded, most would have done what was expected. But Zendaya, she stood her ground. And in that room, the air shifted, eyes widened, a pause. Then nods, a smile, recognition. She left the audition room, heart pounding. Did she blow it? Or did she finally show Hollywood exactly who she was? She wouldn't know for days, weeks. The wait was excruciating. But something deep inside told her she had done the right thing. Routine. This was more than a role. This was a test of talent, of courage, of identity, and Zendaya passed in a way few could, not by pleasing the room, but by staying real, by trusting herself, by refusing to bend for fame. When the call finally came, it wasn't just a yes, it was validation. The proof. Hollywood had seen her fire, seen her refusal to sell out, and she had been rewarded, not just with the role, but with a career-defining statement. Every small role, every rejection, every Disney gig led to this moment. And from this room, Zendaya's rise was unstoppable and dire. A decision that could have shattered her career, a role on the table that would change everything. Fame, money, legacy, and she hesitated. Why? Because the role wasn't just acting. It was transformation, breaking her Disney image, breaking expectations, breaking herself. And that scared her. Most stars would jump, take the paycheck, smile for the cameras. Zendaya paused. The script, brilliant, challenging, complex, but also controversial, risky. Public backlash was possible. Missteps could haunt her for years. Fans might reject her. Directors might doubt her. And mate, the industry could label her uncooperative, career suicide. And yet opportunity knocked louder than fear. She weighed it. Every angle, every outcome, the blank check, the legendary director, the prestige, the pressure. Most would say yes instantly, but she thought long-term, thought about identity, about authenticity, about staying real, about the version of herself she wanted the world to see. On the outside, it looked like a simple yes or no, but inside, it was a battle. Confidence clashed with doubt. Desire clashed with caution. Heart clashed with strategy. Every star dreams of the big break, but not every star dreams of keeping themselves intact while taking it. She called her mentor, discussed scripts, weighed alternatives, even considered walking away completely. Most stars would never question a role like this. Most stars would chase it blindly. But Zendaya, she had a code, a vision, a boundary. The day of the audition, she was tense, focused, alive. Every step measured, every line rehearsed, every choice deliberate. She knew that saying yes without conviction would cost more than the role, would cost her soul, her authenticity, her story. And then it hit her, the clarity, the truth. If she said a no now, she risked fame, fortune, doors opening. But if she said yes on the wrong terms, she risked something bigger, her identity, her voice, her integrity. Most stars don't pause. Most stars follow the path of least resistance. Zendaya, she paused, she questioned, she nearly walked away, almost. But in the tension, in the fear, in the risk, she discovered a stronger version of herself, a version willing to gamble it all. Not for money, not for fame, but for truth. For art, for her. And that choice, that almost a no, is why Hollywood noticed her, not just as a star, but as a force. A young woman unafraid to risk everything to stay real. Zendaya, on the brink. The role could make or break her, and everyone around her had opinions. Agents, managers, family, all voices, all pressure. A take it, said the agent. It's a guaranteed hit. A career maker, a blank checks, high-profile director, Hollywood exposure. Everyone expected her to say yes. Easy, safe, predictable, but Zendaya paused. Family weighed in. Think about your image. Think about your future. Don't risk everything for one role. Love and concern intertwined. The words were meant to guide, but they also added weight. Heavy, crushing, confusing. Every decision felt bigger than her own. Most stars would have followed the advice blindly. Most stars chased the safe path. Zendaya didn't. She listened. She considered. She respected the guidance. But she didn't surrender her voice. Her instincts were louder than their advice. Now, agents pushed deadlines, casting calls, offers. A sign now. Don't hesitate. Others are waiting. Pressure mounted. The room felt smaller. Tension thickened. Heartbeat quickened. Every expectation pressed on her shoulders. Every suggestion became a weight she had to carry alone. Even family, while supportive, feared for her. This could hurt you, could set you back. Love wrapped in caution. Zendaya absorbed it. She valued their wisdom. But she also knew growth doesn't come from playing it safe. It comes from risk. From saying yes when others say no. From saying no when everyone says yes. Behind the polished smile, Zendaya wrestled with doubt. Could she defy the advice? Could she follow her gut? Could she risk disappointment? Every text message, every call, every meeting reminded her of the stakes. Career, fame, money, but also her integrity. Most stars fold under this kind of pressure. Most take the sure thing because it's easier. Zendaya, she leaned into it, not recklessly, not blindly, thoughtfully, carefully. Fear and courage coexisted in her chest. Each beat a reminder, greatness demands sacrifice, authenticity demands risk. By the time she stepped into the audition room, her mind was sharp, her heart steady. The pressure hadn't broken her. It had honed her, prepared her, strengthened her. Every push from agents, every worry from family, school, every whispered caution, it all built the courage she needed to take a stand. This wasn't just an audition, it was a test, a defining moment, a choice between comfort and authenticity. And Zendaya chose herself. Zendaya, on the edge, the role that could define her career, hanging in the balance. Fame, recognition, money, opportunity, all within reach. And yet the risk was real. This wasn't just any part. This was the breakout role, the one every young actor dreams of, the role that could erase the Disney label forever. And for the first time, Zendaya hesitated. Saying yes could launch her into the stratosphere. Saying no could close doors forever. Agents warned, if you pass, someone else will take it. Family worried. This is your big chance. Don't lose it, friends whispered. Friends whispered. Are you sure? The pressure was suffocating. The stakes were higher than anything she'd faced before. Most stars would have taken the safe path, accepted the role, smiled for cameras, followed instructions, checked all the boxes. But Zendaya's instinct screamed, something about this role didn't feel right. It demanded authenticity, courage, transformation. And she knew Hollywood often punishes the bold. She imagined the headlines, the social media chatter, misinterpretation. A single mistake could become a career scar. Fame came with strings attached. Compromise, conformity, the very things she wanted to avoid. And yet, she also felt the pull, the hunger, the chance to prove herself, to take control. The choice became a battle, heart versus strategy, desire versus caution. Every scenario played out in her mind. What if she said no and lost everything? What if she said yes and betrayed herself? It was a gamble, a career-defining gamble, and only she could make it. Zendaya understood the truth most stars ignore. The biggest roles often demand the biggest risk. The fear of loss is part of the path to greatness, and greatness is never comfortable. She took a deep breath, closed her eyes, thought of every small role, every rejection, every lesson, every late night rehearsal. And she realized losing a role wasn't failure. Losing herself, that would be failure. She walked into the audition room, heart steady, fear present, but controlled. Every step, every line, every glance deliberate, risk and opportunity intertwined. This wasn't just a role, sir. This was a statement. In that moment, Zendaya decided she would risk it all. Fame, comfort, security. If the role demanded truth, integrity, courage, she would give it. And if Hollywood didn't like it, so be it. Because some roles are worth the risk, and some stars are worth betting everything to be themselves. Zendaya paused, hesitated, almost walked away. And in that pause, lessons emerged. Lesson 1. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action despite it. Every moment she doubted, every second she questioned, taught her that fear is a compass, pointing exactly where growth lives. Lesson 2. Saying no can be powerful. Hollywood rewards compliance. Most stars follow the script, the safe path. Zendaya discovered the strength in refusing what didn't feel right. Integrity became her currency, her authenticity, priceless. Lesson 3. Patience pays. Every small role, every rejection, every Disney gig, it wasn't wasted time, it was preparation, training, a foundation no shortcut could replace. Hesitation taught her the value of waiting for the right opportunity, not chasing the first one that sparkled. Lesson 4. Instincts matter. She realized no checklist, no agent, no family advice can replace your gut. Hesitation gave her clarity. Time to feel. Time to measure, time to understand what role aligned with her vision, not just her ambition. Lesson 5. Risk shapes resilience. Almost saying no was terrifying. The chance of losing a breakout role, real. But stepping back, weighing options, calculating risk, it made her stronger. Every fear faced made the next challenge easier. Every doubt tested her commitment to herself. Lesson 6. Growth comes from reflection. In the quiet moments after doubt, Zendaya analyzed choices. What made her hesitate? What mattered most? What was worth risking? Hesitation became a teacher. Not a roadblock. Lesson 7. Authenticity attracts opportunity. By trusting herself, she signaled something rare in Hollywood. She wasn't just talented. She was self-aware. She was discerning. She was someone willing to risk comfort to stay true. And the industry noticed. Lesson 8. Fear isn't failure. Almost saying no didn't make her weak. It made her human, vulnerable, calculating, intentional. The hesitation itself became a skill, the ability to pause, assess, and act decisively. Lesson 9. Trust the process. Careers aren't built overnight. Decisions aren't just yes or no. They're steps, moves on a larger chessboard. Hesitation taught her patience, perspective, and purpose. Lesson 10. Your story is yours to write. Hesitation, risk, fear, and doubt. They aren't obstacles. They are chapters. And the right choice made with courage and clarity can define everything. Zendaya learned that hesitation isn't weakness. It's insight. A pause before power. A moment before transformation. Every almost no became a step toward the unstoppable star she was destined to become. Zendaya made the choice. The yes or a no that could have broken her or defined her. And the impact, monumental. This single decision reshaped everything. Hollywood noticed. Directors remembered. Producers whispered her name. She was no longer just a Disney star. She was an actor with vision, courage, honesty, and purpose, someone who knew her worth. The roles started changing. Complex characters, challenging scripts, opportunities that demanded more than charm. They demanded depth, authenticity, and fearlessness. She was no longer cast as a cute teen. She was cast as an actress, real, powerful, uncompromising. Zendaya's choices built trust. Casting directors realized she won't just show up. She'll bring herself, fully, every time. Integrity became her signature. And in an industry built on compromise, that set her apart. Every audition after that carried weight. Every role reflected her standard. She was selective, strategic, not reckless, but intentional. She understood that one career-defining decision could ripple for years, and it did. Her visibility exploded. Critics praised her versatility. Audiences connected with her honesty. She was relatable yet aspirational, bold yet authentic. It all traced back to that moment of hesitation, courage, and clarity. Zendaya's trajectory wasn't linear. It was deliberate, thoughtful, calculated. Every choice afterward reinforced her brand, a star who takes risks for authenticity, not comfort. A star who says a no when necessary and a yes when the timing aligns. The industry began to see a pattern, the rare combination of talent, wisdom, and integrity. A young woman who refused to compromise for quick fame. Every project, every collaboration, every award nomination traced back to that pivotal decision. Fans noticed too. They admired her discernment, her courage, her ability to rise without selling out. That connection, that trust, became part of her brand. One built on authenticity and respect, not just screen presence. Most importantly, Zendaya learned that a career isn't just built on roles. It's built on decisions, risk, timing, vision, saying yes to the right things and sometimes saying no to the tempting ones. From Disney star to Hollywood icon in the making, her trajectory was no accident. It was crafted, carefully, intentionally, with a single powerful choice at the center. A choice that proved courage and integrity don't just shape roles, they shape a legacy. Zendaya walked away. The cameras were off. The director's eyes lingered. Agents held their breath. Family watched. And in that quiet, the real reaction began. Publicly, the news was subtle, a press release. Next project to mention. Fans speculated. Social media buzzed. Headlines hinted. The world assumed she'd taken the safe path. Smiles, polished statements, controlled interviews, professionalism on display. Zendaya played it cool, calm, confident. The public saw a poised star. But what the cameras didn't capture was the private truth. Behind closed doors, the tension lingered. Agents whispered, wondering if she'd regret it. Family worried, heart pounding. Are you sure? They asked. The pressure wasn't gone. It had simply moved inside, invisible to the outside world. Zendaya reflected. She thought about the missed opportunity, the risk of losing a breakout role, the gamble she'd taken. Fear clawed at her, doubt lingered. What if Hollywood never called back? What if the choice cost her momentum? Every career move carried consequences, and this one was massive. Alongside the fear was pride. Quiet, fierce pride. She had stood her ground. She had trusted herself. She had chosen authenticity over safety. And in that moment, she realized something powerful. The private reaction mattered more than the public. The truth of her decision, her integrity, courage, and vision was hers alone. The contrast was stark. Public perception assumed caution, predictability, even compliance. Private reality revealed boldness, resilience, and clarity. Most stars bend to public expectation. Zendaya didn't. She accepted that the world might misinterpret her choice, that headlines might simplify her story, that critics might judge, and she was okay with it. Her team learned too. Agents, once anxious, now respected her conviction. Directors, who had doubted hesitation, now admired her discernment. Family, who feared risk, now understood her courage. The private response rippled outward, slowly, subtly, but powerfully. And Zendaya herself, she grew. Every pause, every internal debate, every silent second of reflection strengthened her. She learned the difference between external validation and self-respect, between applause and authenticity, between easy fame and meaningful legacy. The public would see the polished star, but behind the scenes, the private reaction, the courage, the tension, the quiet victory was the real story. And that story would define the trajectory of her career. Zendaya made the call. The industry buzzed. But fans, they noticed first. Social media exploded. Comments, tweets, posts, everyone had an opinion. Surprise, shock, confusion, admiration. Some fans couldn't believe it. She walked away. They asked, from a role that could have skyrocketed her career? The disbelief was real. They expected a yes, a safe, predictable path. Instead, she surprised them all. Others celebrated, well, she's brave. She stayed true to herself. Finally, a star who won't compromise. The praise was instant, heartfelt. Her authenticity struck a chord. Fans admired the courage it took to risk fame for integrity. Memes appeared, reactions videos, discussions in forums. Everyone dissected the choice. Why did she almost say no? What could have been lost? And yet, admiration outweighed criticism. They saw a young woman making tough calls and winning respect. Private admiration turned public. Fans began defending her, trending hashtags, supportive posts, as she's showing us what it means to be real in Hollywood. For a generation raised on social media, authenticity was currency. Zendaya had earned it. But not all reactions were positive. Some questioned her judgment. Was it career suicide? Skeptics asked. Could she have handled it better? The debate raged. The choice was polarizing, risky, and in that tension, engagement soared. Every headline, every post, every reaction amplified her presence. Through it all, Zendaya observed quietly. She didn't respond immediately. She didn't need to. Her fans' first reaction revealed more than popularity. It revealed trust, loyalty, connection. They respected the woman, not just the image. Every fan post, every tweet, every comment reinforced a lesson she'd already learned. Authenticity resonates. Hesitation isn't weakness. Courage inspires, and the people who matter, those who truly understand, will stand with you, even when the decision is hard. The first wave of fan reaction was telling. It wasn't about the role, it was about the choice, about the values behind it, about a young star who refused to compromise. And that choice in their eyes made Zendaya more than a celebrity. It made her a symbol of courage, of authenticity, of someone willing to risk it all, for herself and for the story she wanted to tell. Zendaya paused, hesitated, almost said no. And in that pause, the lesson became clear. Trust your instincts. Your gut knows more than any agent, any script, any trend. Fear will whisper. Doubt will creep in. But courage is the voice that rises above. Your career, your story, your choices, they belong to you. No one else can live them. No one else can fight for your vision. Zendaya learned it the hard way. Risk was terrifying, but following her instinct, priceless. Hesitation isn't weakness, it's reflection, it's calculation, it's preparation. The moments you question, the choices you weigh, they shape the person you become, the star you are, the legacy you leave. Most stars follow the path of least resistance. Zendaya followed her heart. She trusted herself. She risked losing a role, risked criticism, risked uncertainty, and it changed everything. Her story teaches us something powerful. Fame is fleeting, opportunity is tempting, but authenticity lasts. Your instincts guide you toward the decisions that define not just your career, but your life. So pause, listen, think, feel, and then act. Act boldly, act true, act for yourself. Remember, the right choice isn't always the easiest. It's the one that aligns with who you are, the one that preserves your voice, your integrity, your identity. And here's the truth. Zendaya's rise wasn't just talent. It was wisdom, courage, discipline, instinct. The moments of hesitation became the moments that defined her. So what about you? What choice are you hesitating on? What opportunity makes your heart race but scares your mind? The answer lies in your instincts. Trust them. Follow them. Your yes or a no could change everything. If Zendaya's journey inspires you, don't just watch. Take action. Pause. Reflect. Make the choices that align with your truth and share this story because someone else needs to hear it. Someone else needs courage. Subscribe for more stories of bold choices and career-defining moments. Hit like if you're ready to trust yourself. And comment below. What choice would you risk everything for? Because in the end, it's not about the roles, the fame, or the money. It's about staying real and staying brave, staying you.